All right, what up? Peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully the Most High and your house is blessing your day. Yeah, this was kind of impromptu, but first of all, by His mercies we are consumed. Actually, what I'm about to get into is the mercy, but I was finished reading Proverbs 20. First and foremost, let's go and showing that love and kindness, that empathy, that love, that compassion towards one another, man, because, definitely we need it, right? Let's try to increase our faith. Let's try to purge out the wickedness I know I'm doing that, not saying I'm trying to get rid of per se, or well, yeah, whatever I'm doing, like, man, or sometimes like, too, like, shout out to brother send me the firstborn as well, like, this also too, like, wickedness you're doing, like, if it's malice or hate, like, hatred, or like, lust, covetous, not lust always sexually, but covetous, maliciousness, if I didn't say that, an evil eye, or what else? What else? Laziness, or this thing. Trying to move it out, even if it's something little. But also shout out to brother send me firstborn too, because sometimes, like, the Most High your house, they'll get you, like, on you to read certain strange, read certain verses, read certain scriptures, or have certain ways about you that just aren't like just the worst, but they're just adverse. They're just adverse to the Most High house. It's like, okay, like, all right, I don't like it. I don't like this. You could just try this. Like, sometimes certain things like that. It's like, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, man. Like a man and a woman. Like, like that's all. Like, we're kin. Like, we're the Most High house child's wife, man. They're because, like, no, I noticed this. I've seen this in my life, and I noticed this too. Like, sometimes, like, when a man says, like, or sometimes it can be both ways, but most of the time, like, man say, hey, baby, I don't like when you do this. It's just like, this and this and that. Now it's not only it's like the worst thing, but it's like, hey, I don't like when you do this and this and this. My pop does that. My stepmom sometimes. He's not always like getting on her, like, and like in that nature, but it's like, hey, baby, I kind of like, can you do this and this and that? That's kind of what it is too. Let me say that too, but I had to clear it up because saying yes, there's a lot of stuff for self-examination. Things I'm working on, but I said a lot of wickedness that, well, yeah, I'm be honest, that I am doing, that I'm not even like aware of. Sometimes I gotta be mindful of that, but pretty much self-examination, man. Let me just clear that up too, because, like, no, I'm saying I'm this no this I'm this all this, but no, I'm just saying, like, because how that can be worded, I should have said like that, like, I'm just like, um. But it is what it is, man. It's just more of, yeah. Wait, I mean, yeah. Let me say this too. Let me clear that up, because, like, whatever, like, wickedness I am doing, I need to stop it. But that's why I was talking to one of my brothers too. That Galatians 5 between Galatians for the fruits of the spirit, man. Walking in that, man, you'll never go wrong, man. Honestly, in the law, which actually kind of leads us to this video, because yeah, man, walking in that, you're never gonna go wrong. But I was sitting here reading Proverbs 20 real quick, and yeah, and I'm just going into, like, probably going back to, like, the garden of you know eating, pretty much like, garden eating things of nature, when how the Most High house has kingdoms are two different kingdoms, man. And this all gonna go back let's just get into it, man. Let's get it. Because this lines up with Isaiah 32, and this is talking about, like, your house child's kingdom in a sense, but it's really talking about, like, the Most High's kingdom. Like, it says the king rule. This is Proverbs 20 and 28 in the Good News translation. It says a king will remain in power as long as his rule is honest and just and fair. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's just is what it is. Like, honest, just, and fair. Like, let's get Isaiah 32 real quick, because, um, um, behold, yeah, a king shall reign in righteousness, princes shall rule in judgment. So, yeah, it's talking about, like, Yahushua, in his kingdom, things of that nature. But also too, man, this is going to, because, like, people go always going to, oh, it's not a just man and things of that nature. Well, things in that nature. But this is more of, like, it's going. Let's go into why. It says the king will remain in power as long as his rule is honest, just, and fair, man. So that's why Yahushua's kingdom is gonna. I mean, the Most High's kingdom is gonna be everlasting, man. Because there's no man that's just above him. That's why Yahushua even said, "Why you calling me good? There's only one good man." That means his kingdom. That's why his kingdom is the everlasting kingdom, man. So, and also too, like this is goes into like let's go read it in the regular version. It says, "Mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy." Yeah, exactly. So mercy and truth is behold the king, but his throne is upholding by mercy. So see, let's go into that, man, because that's why I know going back to the Garden of Eden, because going to go back to a place of pleasure, man, like the place of pleasure, or like because honestly, that mercy is that's why in the law. Let's go to Numbers 7 right quick, because mercy is over the law, and we're gonna go to Timothy. And not saying the law like don't keep the course, not saying don't keep. But we kind of talked about that. But I'm just going into like the mercy, and like it's kind of going to both like the power of mercy, and like kind of series that I've been doing, like that's kind of killing two birds with one stone. But he says, and when Moses was going into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him, then he heard the voice of speaking unto him from off the mercy seat, and there was upon the ark of the testimony from between the two cherubims, and he spake unto him. So yeah, exactly. So let me read this again. Numbers chapter 7, verse 89. It says, he was going into the tabernacle of the congregation to speak with him. And then he heard the voice of the speaking unto him from off the mercy seat that was upon the ark of the testimony. From between the two cherubims, he spake unto him. So yeah, man, the mercy is above the law. That's why, like, let's go to Timothy real quick. Yeah, they've been working on that all week. And then we're going to go to John. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the First Timothy chapter. I'll start verse 8 too, because like I'm going into now, like this can be like the shout out to brothers like Assembly Firstborn, the brother Assembly Firstborn, brother Kwame called Mashal Akawar, because this is going into this a lot, because the law is nothing wrong with the law. The law of Psalms 19:7 says the law is perfect. It wasn't Masama. It goes into like goes into how it can make this is simple wise. It's a simple wise, and like Sirach even says, Ecclesiastes says, like the law is without lies. So yeah, I'm not. But let me get this too. But First Timothy chapter 1 verse 8, it says, knowing this, that the law is good if a man use it lawfully, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly, for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers, and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers that defile themselves with mankind, for man-stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any that's contrary to sound doctrine. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, so that's what the law. Yeah, because just live by faith, and righteous, like is faithful. So that's why, like let's get this too. That's why let's go to John real quick, man, because it's all going into that. Because it's all tying into going back to the Garden of Eden, place of pleasure, man. Like the difference between the Most High and Yahushua's kingdom, because Yahushua's kingdom, that's still gonna be around. Like people, because he's gonna reign for the day, and that day is 1,000 years. It's gonna be a day for them, but it's gonna be 1,000 years. But as we know about this kingdom, it's just still going to be like sitting there and things of that nature. Law is still going to be around, but because law wasn't in like very much the garden of Eden until like that's the fruit that is the law, and nothing wrong with that. It's like, listen, there's just something better. That's all. Like, shout out to brother somebody Firstborn says, but let's get this John real quick. Because mercy and truth. Let's grab this. It says, for the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua HaMashiach. So yeah, man, that's why the grace and truth, it came, and that's why Yahushua's preaching the gospel, preaching the kingdom of the Most High. That's the difference between the kingdoms that that he was really pretty much preaching. Of course, remember, Yahushua often mentioned his kingdom, but you know, like in John, he says, "Listen, to my kingdom, my servants fight." But also, he's talking about the Yahushua's kingdom when preaching the gospel of the kingdom and things of that nature, like the mysteries of the kingdom, the gospel of the kingdom. That's what he was going into, like, you know, the kingdom of the Most High, man. So, you know, because that's going to go back to Eden. This is going to be like just the faith there, like, you know, and he's going to be, of course, like, you know, Yahushua going to be right next to him, like Revelation 22 says, like, you know, the throne of the Most High and the throne of the Lamb. Like, going back to pretty much, it's kind of like pretty much, yeah, that's why, like, you know, like, he comes in a volume of the book, man. That's what that whole Joseph story was about, man. Like, you know, so as when it says into Philippians, and thought not robbery to him make himself equal. Yeah, he was equal with him, but you know, what did Pharaoh say to Joseph? Only throne will I be greater than you. So yeah, man, they pretty much were, like, you know, things of that nature, man. Of course, like, you know, that's just it is what it is, man. So and they were on one accord. That's why. But you know, of course, like Yahushua did the will of the Father. He said this, done the will of him that sent me. He's greater than me, of course. That, but you know, that's just is what it is with that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk on that because I was like, you know what, I wasn't going to go into this because yeah, man. So yeah, hopefully this is edifying and yeah, man. So peace.